Welcome back to World 101 Podcast, the internet's most completely uncalled for video game podcast that you'll ever never listen to. This week, here's your reminder: you can find us at Podbean, Google Play Music, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podknife, Podchaser, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this evening is Kathy cannot conform with updates.
Rude.
I'm used to it. I just sit here and I take it.
Josh, the psychedelic drug space Viking.
Hello.
He's so mellow.
Yeah. It's late.
Zoe, that's the hill she's going to die on.
Hells yeah.
And
That's a good one.
Michael, the disembodied voice.
Your enthusiasm disgusts me, by the way.
You're welcome. I aim to...
There he is. There he is. That's Michael.
Oh, shit.
I love the name you gave me because it's so fucking true.
I was making
she's-
reference to the Wally picture.
But it's a lot about me. The hill of garbage, that's the hill I'm gonna die on.
I think you just you hit a soft spot for Michael there. Like that's gonna be his crusade, is to just die upon a hill of trash. He wants to be the ultimate raccoon.
Pretty much, yeah. Yay, stuff!
Oh my god, speaking of raccoons, I was in the park a couple weeks ago and we heard this rustling in the trash and we looked inside and it was a baby raccoon, most adorable thing. And it was just like looking up at us like, don't harm me, human.
Oh, you're lucky. I always got the ones at the zoo that would jump out of the cans and go, ah!
No, this one was cute and very friendly.
Aw,
My cousin had a pet one for a while.
I want a pet one.
They're like, it was because they also had at the time they had like 7 cats, and really quickly the cats learned do not fuck with the raccoon.
Right.
So the raccoon would be eating or drinking, and the cats would watch him from a distance in a row, literally like the little rascals, basically poking their head around the corner, but they wouldn't go anywhere near their food or water until the raccoon walked away.
I mean, I wouldn't fuck with a raccoon. Just, no.
He was little. He was cute. Raccoons are really fucking playful. Like, he was a lot of fun. I also knew someone who had a pet possum when it was a baby. And, like, possums are actually really cute when they're little. But, you know, like, in that, like, they're pugs. They're so ugly, they're cute.
Yeah.
And it kept trying to crawl under my hat.
All right, so let's get the brass tacks here with oh my god, video games. Kathy, what have you been playing?
So I actually have a new game this week, and it's
What do you
not
got?
Fortnite. All right, so, well, it's not new. It came out in 2018, but it's new to me because I hadn't seen it on the App Store.
That's all that matters.
A few weeks ago, I told you guys I had picked up a new game from the Rusty Lake series. I don't know it, but it's kind of the developers Rusty Lake have all these games, a Cube Escape series, and then some premium games that are focused around this one area. Well, I found a new one that I had never played before called Cube Escape Paradox. And currently I got it on my App Store. Yes, on my iPhone. Sorry. I know
Nothing wrong
how.
with that. Except for the fact.
Okay, wait. Time out. Hold up.
Except for the fact
For all yeah, see, okay, I'm glad you
mobile gaming not an
clarified that.
issue. Apple is trash.
Okay, because that's what I was waiting for, because you always give me crap about my phone and my choice of phones, so shut up, Larry. But you can also get it on the Google Play
Normalcy
Store.
has been restored now.
You can also get it on Google Play, Steam, and it's just another one of those puzzle base. You're trapped in a room and you got to figure out how to get out. But what I thought was really neat about this one is that there's also short film that goes along with the game. That is basically a live action of the game, sort of. At least the story behind the game.
Okay.
And the movie plays a part in the game. Now you can get the game for free, the first chapter. There is a second chapter that you have to pay $1.99 to get. Of course, I paid for it because I'm an idiot. I mean, hell, I buy the Battle Pass for Fortnite even though I don't play it very often.
You know what? If you enjoy it, who gives a fuck?
Agreed.
Enjoy what?
Because
Because
you enjoy the game. Who gives a crap about the fact that
Yeah.
you paid for the game?
Hey,
If
well,
you enjoy
no,
it, like
we've had talks about before the paying to play and stuff like that. So we've had those talks.
microtransactions and stuff. I get it.
Microtransactions. Thank
Well, my
you,
whole
Zoe.
thing
I
is
couldn't
with
think of the name
those-
of it.
I mean, with
And in
those,
a way,
though,
this
you have
is-
to play. You have to pay to play, right?
Not
Like,
all
you
of them.
keep- Well, no, but to keep playing, like to play, like to continue your game, you had to pay, right?
For what? For this one?
Yeah.
No, it was a separate chapter. It was like a DLC content.
Yeah. So that's fine.
Yeah.
So, but
If you
anyhow,
enjoy it, who cares? Yeah.
but yeah, it was I like the combination of the live action and again, it's just another escape game, just like all the other ones are. But the story and the interconnectivity between the games has kept me interested, and I'm kind of curious to see if there's ever really going to be an end to these games. So, but yeah, that was my new game.
It's going to be like a Monty Python movie. It doesn't end. It just stops.
Yeah.
That
I
was
got
a really, 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 really lame joke.
I'm not joking. It's a statement of prediction with accuracy.
Anyhow, moving on. Don't mess with me. I'm running on 24 hours no sleep. So,
I'm not far behind.
yeah.
says
Sleep
the
has
guy
been
that came
sleep.
home and crashed.
I wish I could. But anyhow, that's the new game. And I did finish The Witcher 3, finally finished all the DLC content. Now I'm just kind of cleaning up, going to places like question mark places
Oh,
on the
good.
map.
Nice.
And then I think I might start over again and try it on a harder difficulty. 'Cause, yeah. Why not challenge myself until I get frustrated and throw my controller and then be like, yeah, going back to easy mode.
Mhm.
That's a good game, though. But
What, The
I'm
Witcher
gl-
3? Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, and like I said, if it hadn't been for Fortnite, I would have finished it. But I was playing The Witcher 3, and then we got Fortnite, and then I kind of started playing Fortnite, and then, Fortnite kind of just took over
Right.
my life for a while.
It's so
Or-
easy to slip back into those comfort games,
Mhm.
Well,
like
and
the
I have,
boredom default games.
well, for me, it's also, I have people I play with, so it's nice to be able to, after not really talking
Yeah.
to many people, it's nice to have that, like, hey, there's other humans in the world, and I can actually talk to them and have fun.
Right. So yeah, I mean, for you, Fortnite's got a double draw. It's that like comfort boredom game plus the social aspect. So, which makes it even more dangerously easy to sink back to.
True.
I mean,
There's
for me,
nothing,
it's
there's no new games. I think that's what's been disappointing me this year. No games have really piqued my interest.
you getting
And
in on Origami King.
I don't even know if I want to play it. It looks cool, but there's a lot of games that are just not appealing right now, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I'm getting old and I'm starting to turn into one of these video games rot your brain type of people, which, yeah, no.
No,
But I
you're just picky and know what you like, and if something doesn't hit you exactly right, it just isn't gonna do it for you. Period.
Well, but
Which is entirely respectable.
I don't even know if that's it. It's hard to describe. It really is, and it's not that type of feeling. I can't describe it. It's
Are you
weird
hitting
how
like gaming apathy?
maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think more about it. That's a discussion for another time.
It is. So we're definitely gonna have to talk about Josh's like missing decade.
Yeah,
that
that was not a fun time.
Josh left the world of apathy and went straight to entropy.
Pretty much.
So,
It's like a 10-year period that
That's
I'm
it. I'm done.
still discovering
Next
stuff
person.
for.
speaking of next person, I don't know. I'd point to him, but he's just a disembodied voice. Michael, the fuck you been playing?
I started playing the second Darksiders again. Like I'm playing through it on I started it over on the Switch just because I want to see how it plays on that, and I'm very quickly realizing like it's my least favorite of the series. Like it's the most tedious. And like so I'm only maybe an hour into it, and I don't even know if I really want to go through it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I got other shit to play. Like I just got the Sexy Brutale in the mail. I've got a handful of other things at this point. I don't even remember what all I got. Like I bought Nier Automata or whatever the fuck it is.
I think
can
it's
never pronounce it.
Automata.
Yeah, something like that. I bought that brand new and haven't even opened it yet. So
That one's actually piqued my interest.
I watched a video on it, and it they were just what they were talking about and how it played. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And then that was weeks ago. I've been sitting on it since. I've got the just like everybody else here, I've got the myriad of games I've downloaded that I'll never fucking look at.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, as I said, like I love the series and I love the story of the second one. It's such a tedious. It's like Soul Reaver. I love the Soul Reaver series, but man, are those games fucking tedious to play. So
I can see that. Like, you have fond memories, but you also remember you don't have the patience to do that shit again.
yeah, well, like Soul Reaver, the entire Soul Reaver series, I actually have Let's Plays that I downloaded off YouTube. I ripped off YouTube, and I'll just put them in my DVD player as background noise occasionally.
I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, the guy did it right. Like, the guy actually did it to where him and his friend will chat while they're just playing the game, but every cutscene or story beat, they stop talking completely and allow that to progress, which is really well done. And the two guys that are actually doing it are actually pretty funny, too, so... Cause,
that always helps.
Yeah, they did, as I said, they did the entire, what's it called? The entire Soul Reaver series, all of them. They did the first Darksiders, but he actually stopped doing anything shortly after that. So,
any idea why?
No, he just kind of disappeared.
That's sad.
Yeah, like as I said, I liked listening to him and his friend chatter. Like some of the shit they did during the Darksiders one still makes me laugh to this day, and that was a fucking decade ago at this point.
Right. Yeah. That reminds me, there's a series of Let's Plays that I wish I could find, but I think it's actually, literally, as far as I can tell, I think it's completely vanished from the internet.
What was it?
Sad. It was a playthrough of the Prime trilogy by Black Belt Bobman. And it was fucking amazing. Like, the dude's editing and comedic timing was perfect. I was immediately, like, the snippet that had been shown to me to get me hooked was from Echoes, when you get the gravity booster, at which point he cut out the audio and clipped in fucking Fet's Vet right to the snippet, my backpacks got jets, right as that thing's loading up onto your back. I'm like, it's so perfect. There was also a thing in their run through of Corruption about how Ridley was voted Employee of the Month as the General of the Space Pirates because he was the only one that would bring cupcakes to all the staff meetings.
I'd vote for him.
So, I mean, there you go. There you have it.
Well, you guys mentioned peanut butter cookies earlier, and between your
Right.
fucking candy bar sex and the fucking, between that and the peanut butter cookies, I'm like, I'm fucking dying here.
Sorry,
Yeah, I don't
not
know.
sorry.
Candy
Right.
bar sex. Damn.
I mean, he was going in just like, oh,
He
like
was,
he was just,
exactly, like-
oh.
I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. So
Oh,
I
I
missed it all.
was. I was paying attention. I saw it.
I got a buddy of mine was in a punk band years and years ago, and on
story.
one of their CDs, there's like a 30-second track where they're screwing around and they play the opening to Marcy Playground's Sex and Candy, and right after the I Like Sex and Candy, you hear one of them like off in the distance screaming, "Oh my God, what are you doing with that Butterfinger?" Sticks with me forever. But yeah. So what other fun stuff have you been spinning in your disc tray?
Other than that, I've been watching TV shows. Like, I'm going through. I'm in the third season of Farscape, and I'm
Yay,
watching
Farscape.
Crossing Swords, which is the new show done by the guys who did Robot Chicken,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's better than I thought it would be, but it's still exactly what you expect out of it.
Mm,
Okay.
It's not a bad show. It's just not great either. It kind of reminds me of Disenchantment. Like Disenchantment, I had
Okay.
really high hopes for going into it, but it kind of has fallen short of what I wanted it to be, I guess.
I can see that.
What else?
Like it would be better if you didn't have the expectation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Beyond-
a lot of things in life, honestly.
Yeah, that's actually very true. But I don't know. As I said, like I've got a backlog of shit I need to watch. I've been meaning to get to watch too, so I'm just kind of trying to plow through as much of it as I can. Like I did finish Gravity Falls not that long ago, though.
Nice.
Oh,
That-
Gravity
I couldn't
Falls.
get into it. Everyone loves it. I just, honestly, I think for me, it's the animation. I can't get past it. I can't do it.
I could see that. Like I wanted to hate it based on the animation too, but watching it, like I sat through and I got invested in one or two of the characters, and then the ending of it, because it's only 2 seasons, right? The ending half of the second season, like really amps up and just doesn't let go until it's done.
Wait,
And
that show
that's
was
when-
2 seasons?
Yeah, it was only
Yeah.
2 seasons.
And that's all I can watch is that last half. That's where I
Yeah.
really liked it. The beginning part, forget it. But when it starts kind of going
really
towards
like the
that
fact
end,
that, like, in going back to it, I like the fact that there's details and hints throughout the entirety of the show. Like that's just background stuff that you, unless you're paying attention, you'll never notice. But it's really well done.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, it was better than I expected. But like, I'm really wanting to sit down and start watching Adventure Time sometime soon.
Same.
Again, though, I hate that new animation style, and Adventure Time kind of was really where that style started, and I can't stand it. I fucking hate it. But I said I'll get to it eventually.
I don't know. I've seen snippets of Adventure Time, and it doesn't offend me per se, but nothing there really grabbed me.
Well, I know, like it's one of those the story is way deeper than they actually get into at first and shit like that.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of bits and pieces. Like, I like the fact that it's literally a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and
Yeah.
they never touch on it.
I feel like because the beginning is just so haphazard and there's really no story,
Yeah.
like people write it off, but I never got to finish it, but I want to. But there's like a deep underlying connection between all of these characters, and you kind of go back in the past and realize how like the land of Ooh became exactly what it is.
hmm As I said, I want to check it out. I just haven't had the chance yet. I did watch what was it? The new show done by the guy who did Rick and Morty.
Oh,
Solar
Solar
Opposites.
Opposites. Yeah.
It was okay. Like, it was basically exactly what you expect out of it. Like, it's nothing new, you know. So it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either.
So back to
I-
inoffensive.
Yeah, I give it. It'll probably get maybe one more season before everybody kind of goes, whatever.
Right.
Although the last season of Rick and Morty was actually pretty good. Primarily, like, there was a lot of filler to that season, but the very
Don't
last,
spoil it. I haven't
No,
seen
no.
it.
the Vat of Acid episode is the best thing they've ever done. Like, literally the entire episode is just to show how petty Rick is, and it's phenomenal. And then fuck, I don't even know. I think that's it. I need to start getting. I need to watch the new Doom Patrol season because the first season of Doom Patrol was amazing. And I know that,
Thanks.
yeah, like it was way better than I was expecting. I literally started watching it because Brendan Fraser's involved. Like
That's good enough reason.
Yeah, I like Brendan Fraser a lot. I've always liked his work, and I was really excited with the first season when I found out he was going to be involved in it because I was like, "Cool, he's working again." And like that show turned out to be so much better than I thought. Because I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the DC stuff. I actually went through both seasons of Titans, and it's kind of very one-dimensional and boring. Like, there's not a whole lot to it. Like, but as I said, Doom Patrol was really well done. Mainly because all the characters are tragic. So,
you're just looking for someone who's more miserable than you.
shut your whore mouth, Shannon. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like, nothing special, nothing new.
Okay. Zoe, what have you been playing? Because you got a thing,
And I've been
but
playing.
it's got problems.
Okay, so I bit the bullet and bought an expensive Switch from Amazon that was refurbished. So my right Joy-Con has drift like a motherfucker,
Ooh.
and it's fucking terrible.
In a situation like that, can you buy new Joy-Cons, or is that part of the system itself?
Yeah, I can buy new Joy-Cons.
Okay,
Okay.
at $80 a pop, but
Yeah.
Or you can get a Pro
no.
controller.
No, and then what was I gonna say? They were
Sorry.
like, when I messaged them, they were like, well, I told them about the Joy-Con. They said, well, Nintendo fixes that for free, and I'm like, not right now. They fucking don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because they're fucking. Yeah, no, they will fix the drift for free. It's just their repair center's closed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that doesn't fucking help me right now. And then it's very small, but there's a chip in the screen. And I'm like, if I'm going to pay $100 extra more than, like, even though this is a refurbished machine and I paid $100 more than this thing actually is worth, I want a freaking system with no chip in the screen.
Exactly. Dang.
And so they were like, well, in order to do anything about that, we need pictures of it, which I took and I have to send to them. It's really freaking dumb. But that is, honest, haven't been playing anything. I got a job and I haven't played any video games. So
where are you working?
at Go Bob's.
At what? Oh, okay,
Go
yeah.
Bob's.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Larry got me into a job, but now like half of me is regretting getting that job. Because I'm like, there's a reason why I got out of retail. I'm just like, why did I do that to myself?
I haven't worked retail in probably 20 years at this point. I got lucky. I got lucky when I did it, though. I had the kind of job where I can literally tell people, like, yeah, I'm not paid enough to be nice to you anymore.
I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I dislike where I work or the people I work for or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just like, it's going back to a job that I don't have a passion for. I do with teaching. You know, I'm like, I got a job because I was bored and had nothing better to do. And I'm just like, I probably should have found something more productive or like constructive than like getting a job. And it doesn't even have to be particularly like this particular job. I'm just like, damn, I wish I would have like done something else.
You just cut out.
Yeah, you did.
Am I there now?
Yeah.
You are there now.
Hit my microphone. I like it. Like, I like who I work for, but you know, teaching, I go in and I feel like there's a drive to go and do that job. A drive
Fulfilled
to
and
go and do-
rewarded.
Yeah. I don't have that with this job. It's such an obligation.
All that crazy
And-
stuff you said it was going to be when you took a job.
And I was just like, shit. Like, I wanted something to do with my time, but now I'm like, if I wanted something else to do with my time, I no longer have that option because I'm obligated.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck in that. And so, I looked at some games. I mean, I wish I had my system down here with you. I could tell you what I was looking at and what piqued my interest. There's a couple of horror games that were pretty awesome. Thank you.
Yay for horror games.
Ugh.
The horror games
Honest-
2020.
Honestly, I thought you said horror games, and I'm just
I
like,
did.
what is those?
He did.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh, I
like,
did.
That's
okay. I heard you
a
correctly
different
then.
background, though, for him.
Mhm.
I was like, horror games. I was like, that sounds like a fucking Olympics or sluts. Like,
Yeah, it's the horror games 2020 in Beijing this year.
I was like, I'd be no. Is it wrong that I'd be slightly intrigued at that idea? Like, I would watch that.
Not even in the
Not-
slightest.
not-
I would.
Most definitely.
I would totally watch.
Like,
that.
I'm here for
Everyone
that.
would watch it, but no one would admit they're watching it.
Right.
Yes.
I am no, I'm telling everybody. I'm like, holy shit,
Well-
did you see the events last night? God damn, that
And
bitch
then-
that took gold, motherfucker.
Yeah.
She took all the dick. Like, just like, goddamn. Okay. My lovely person here went and grabbed me my system. I'm gonna fucking throw this Joy-Con at the goddamn wall. No, the drift is terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It is. I've
It's
seen it.
so
It's awful.
Jesus.
Oh, I
No,
bet.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna have one Joy-Con attached to this damn thing because I can't do it. I can't.
Touchscreen that motherfucker.
I can't. Exactly. Me and my one freaking Joy-Con. Because he thought it was the left one, the blue one. It's not. It's the right one.
Oh.
It's
Don't
the
cut
red
yourself
one.
on the chip when you're touching this.
Okay. Where is my wish list? How do I find my
I'm
wish-
assuming that you were looking at Smash Run.
Nope.
Really?
How do I find my wish list? Someone direct me.
It's your little icon when you're in the eShop.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I can tell you what Zoe's been looking at. There was this game called Electronic Super Joy.
Oh yeah, that
And-
looks cool as shit.
Oh my god, it's just this little like guy going around. You got to get through these levels, but the music in it is electronic music, and it's fucking boss looking. Like I'm here for it. Okay, like I'm like let's do this. I'm 100% here for it. Same thing with Radio Squid. Same thing. You're kind of just a squid going about your little squid life, going through these levels, and the musical's boss. Larry actually owns this one, but I saw the trailer for it and I want to play it. The Gardens Between.
Oh, yeah, that's good. You'll like
It
that.
is.
A game called Among the Sleep. So I'm going to
Yeah.
read you the description for this, and I'm intrigued. So it says, in the nightmarish first-person horror game Among the Sleep, you play as a defenseless toddler, roaming around the house to find your missing mom.
I've
Find
seen
me a
that.
toddler
I've watched
that's
that.
not defenseless though.
That is that. I think you'll like that game. I watched gameplay of it. I've never played it. I refuse to. Too much creep for me, but it looks good. It was a good.
I
game
was
to
like, the
watch.
fucking premise of being a 2-year-old walking around in this haunted, like, space.
Oh,
I
it
mean-
is. It gets weird. It gets
I-
weird.
It sounds
I think
like
you'll like it. I
I'm
think
here
you'll like
for
it. Mhm.
And then last two are Sonic Forces, which Larry said was blah, but I don't really give a crap what he says. And then Sonic Mania.
Oh,
Okay.
Sonic Mania, you'll like that.
hmm Because I love a good, 2D scroller Sonic, but I also love my 3D Sonic. So I was like, well, Sonic Forces is definitely more 3D, and I do like that. I was like, push come to shove, I don't like it. It's not the end of the world if I don't like the game. I just really like Sonic. Like one game I really loved playing was Sonic Generations because you got that 2D scroller with, New Age Sonic.
Mhm.
It was a really well done game in my opinion. I love Sonic Generations. The only Sonic game that I'm like, fuck it, it was the dumbest thing ever, is the Unleashed with the whole werehog thing. Nobody asked for a slow-ass Sonic. Nobody asked for that, okay? No one asked for a werewolf Sonic, whatever the hell that thing was, because no. No one asked for that. No one wanted it. They just need to take it, pack it into a fucking backpack, and take that shit. Just take it. Just. Oh god, that was a terrible fucking game. It's so bad. I tried it. I couldn't. I hated the fact that I had to be the werehog. I only wanted to play the fast levels. The game was fucking nonsense. But that's what I've been looking at. I haven't had time to like sit and play anything, mostly because I'm like, I'm probably not keeping the system, so I don't want to like get attached to it. I need new Joy-Cons. Honestly, if my Joy-Cons were better, I probably would spend more time playing it. But no, it's just a pain in the ass to mess with at the moment because my Joy-Cons suck. So I've been playing this game called Life where I have a job and no time for shit that I want to do. So
Sounds boring.
Yeah, that's the adult. That's the sucky part about it.
The graphics are hyper realistic, but the gameplay sucks.
Yeah, the DLC, it's like, yeah.
It's like
Also, it's not Windows compatible.
It's like the best VR in the world, man. Best.
Real life job simulator.
I mean, it's essentially what Sims is. You're literally just living your life.
Yeah, but there you get to,
Do fucked up shit
do-
like trap 'em in rooms.
You can take
you can
toilets
trap
away.
them.
Mhm.
I
You
get
can
to
take
each
the
their-
ladder out of a pool.
to each
all the
their
fun
own.
stuff.
I've never I'd never gotten into Sims. I'm like, I could just
Neither have I.
go
I just
live
know
my
the
life. Oh, I do too. Like, I know the premise of like why some people play it. It's the reason why like Animal Crossing really doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to make my own world inside of a game. It's why I don't really like Minecraft. Like, I if I wanted to build a world in a video game, I'd be a fucking video game designer, but I'm not. I want to play the world that you have built for me. I don't want to build it myself. Like, props to those creative people that really want to go out there and do that, but that shit ain't me.
Right.
Hey Zoe, you're doing like you're getting into no, you were gonna be doing art, weren't you? The coming
Yeah.
school year.
I was going to be doing art in the coming school year, but I'm not anymore. Thank Jesus.
There's a missed opportunity there. You could have run with like a full theme for a grading period. Could have been arts and Minecrafts.
Aww. That is adorable. No, don't get me wrong. I've used Minecraft for a theme. Like when I was helping run Cub Scouts, we had a Minecraft theme. Someone made an Enderman cake, and that the cake was just like the Enderman head. It was really kind of cool because they even like got the little like purpley things that go around the head on the
That's
tray. The boys made Minecraft cars. One made an Enderman, the other one made a creeper. It was actually pretty dope. Like it was a really good design year, and so because Minecraft is pretty awesome, like in that regard, that
That
be able to use it
community
as,
and
yeah.
the whole thing surrounding it. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I was on Minecraft for a minute, and I built this bomb-ass sandcastle right on the freaking like water. It was bomb. It had glass all the way around, so you could see the water while you were like chilling inside this sandcastle. And of course, I did this all in creative mode because I'm that person.
I just like exploring. I like going through the caves. I like trying to find new places. That's the only thing I do in Minecraft.
That's what I got out of it. Like, building a house was cool, but like I don't think I could ever like play Minecraft.
Right.
I like doing it in creative mode, but like going through all that work of collecting all the stuff, and then I'm like, I don't give a shit enough to do this.
It needs
I don't like getting this. I don't like building it. I like going and just exploring. Like, oh, I found a cave. How many ways am I gonna die now because I don't have the right gear and stuff? So
that sense of pushing into where you don't belong.
There was a game that was kind of like Minecraft, but had like a extra thing to it. It was this zombie game that my ex used to play. It was a PC game, and you had to like go and get these materials to build your fort because zombies would come, and you had like, and every day there was a wave, and your fort had to like survive this wave of zombies. What the hell? It's like 7 days or some shit like that. It's a PC game.
7 Days to Die.
Yeah. It's not PC no more. Apparently it's everything. Thank you for the side commentary.
Peanut Gallery.
That's essentially what he is, sitting off camera and whatnot.
I know.
But yeah, so I'm like, that was kind of cool. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that for a purpose of like surviving a zombie horde. And I mean, I guess like your fort's supposed to survive the mob, but I'm like, you could easily just put lights outside your place and the mob won't even come near it. So
there you go.
there are ways around that. There's no way around zombies. Zombies are gonna attack you. Like, you're just gonna deal with the zombies. Anywho, who's next?
Any other? That just leaves me.
no,
Josh hasn't gone.
no, it's
I know
not.
we're going for a theme now.
Oh my God, stop it, Larry.
I haven't been playing much anyway.
I said that puts you and me in the same boat, Holmes.
Actually,
Yeah.
you forgot 2 other people this time.
Oh yeah.
You went me, then Zoe, and then you haven't gone to anybody else, Larry.
No,
we-
you went
Michael?
Kathy, Michael, then me.
Did Michael go?
Yeah.
Yeah, babbled about video games and shows.
Oh God.
Yeah, somehow
yeah,
we're
that's
talking
right.
about-
That's right. Never mind. I'm
We're
losing
talking
it.
about
I'm
games-
done. I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
games we were playing.
I'm-
He ended up
I'm
talking about
being
shows we were
consistent.
watching.
Yeah, I'm being consistent here. We're only regularly skipping Josh now because now it's just something to look forward to.
Yeah. It's like my real life. We'll just skip me.
So, Josh, what little have you been playing?
Just been dabbling in The Last of Us 2. I finished the first one up again before the second one came out, and of course the second one was delayed getting to me, so I started about 15 hours in. So I'm about a little over halfway into the game, and there's a lot of. I like to talk to Eddie about it once he finishes the game, but there's a lot I can see why some of the hate is coming on the game. From the story is kind of, there's a couple gut punches in there which you weren't really expecting. Not that it's not really I'm not spoiling anything, but like, when characters die, you usually expect them to die in like good ways, and some people are having issues with some of the deaths. But like I said, it's not like supposed to be a happy game. It's
Yeah.
called The Last of Us. It's not called like let's all go find everybody.
Yeah.
I'll go find everybody.
Yeah, Rainbows and Puppies Part 2.
Rainbows and unicorns and pots of gold. But no, I mean, it's a I love the world though. The world building is great. I think the gameplay is better than the first one. So if you played the first one, the gameplay is much more finessed out and they really iterated on it a lot, and I like it. There's like real kind of stealth scenes, action sequences that are really good and well done. They have like tall grass that you can actually like go prone or crouch down in, and the people can't see you until they're right on top of you. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic, because like how in games where you're supposed to be hiding and everyone just sees you right away.
Right.
At least this way you can kind of hide. So I mean, I'm getting into that a little bit more, and there's some new enemy types, stuff like that. It works out good. I mean, I'm liking it. I'm liking the gameplay more than I'm liking the story. So that's just pretty much all I've been dabbling in, because I got work and all that stuff too.
What is the system that's for?
PlayStation.
PS4.
God damn it.
So, speaking of stealth, can we please bring back Splinter Cell already?
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
miss Sam Fisher. Jesus God. So, I got a question for you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to a game like Last of Us, are you there? Like, is it the gameplay that that sucked you in the first place? That was or was it the story? Like, if you had to pick one, which is the one that got you on board?
So, like, the first game I played, that was the story. And that's what got me into the second one. I didn't even have to watch a trailer. I would just play the second one. Because I wanted to see where the story... Especially when they said it was The Last of Us Part 2. So you're thinking, like, look, this is going to pick up right where the first one left off. And it does. And then there's some years in between. But they kind of skip over some of that, which is fine. You know? But the story is what gets me. I mean, PlayStation exclusives, that's what gets me is the story. I'm not usually there for the gameplay, you know?
Yeah. Which, speaking of, you know, like, games where the story spans years, you know, just by way of, like, skipping stuff, I know I've talked about it before. I don't know if I've ever talked in, like, real depth or length, but I highly recommend. You should be able to find it dirt fuck cheap. Pick up Future Tactics Uprising. The gameplay is very unique, but the story is actually really good.
Okay.
It was third gen, so Xbox, PS2, GameCube.
Okay.
And added bonus, it's a turn-based tactics game. Mixed with first-person shooter. Yeah, I know those two things don't compute when I say it out loud, but I promise it works, and it's really clever and well done. But added bonus, though, as, you know, tactical turn-based RPGs go, it's actually got multiplayer, which is really fun. So you can actually harangue a friend, and you two can, you know, play opposing teams on various maps from throughout the story against each other. It's kind of great. And like, it's dirt ass cheap, dude. You can find like the PS2 versions for like $3.
Sure.
Like, it's one of the best budget games that ever came out of that generation, honestly. So that's a thing you should check out. And if you ever come up, we'll play some.
Yeah.
But my God, dude, the story. Oh, the story gets me every damn time in that game. And it's what the fuck? I want to say it was like one of the cheap, like, it released as a cheap budget game from like Majesco or some shit. Which, man, some of their budget games were fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, that was back then when they had, you know, you had those games. You had that like B tier, that kind of good, really good B tier games.
Right.
They're kind of coming back a little bit now.
We're getting that. I think that's really just been replaced by like the top tier indie stuff. Like, you get into stuff like The Witness. It kind of walks that line of where the B tier games used to be.
I always think of a company like THQ Nordic, like they're picking up all these old IP, and they're making like you know, Destroy All Humans and stuff like that. I think of that as kind of like that B tier. It wasn't like the true AAA experience, but it was a good, solid game.
Yeah, it's like third string AAA.
Yeah.
Or, you know, varsity indie.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
But the thing is even with those, I still miss like genuine straight B tier, you know, B tier games. Because there's a certain like hokey magic in those that you don't find in, you know, third string AAA or, you know, varsity indie.
Yeah.
Something's missing, and I can't honestly put my finger on it. And it drives me nuts. Like Phantom Dust was another one.
Yes, it was. It was like right in that wheelhouse.
It's in that like perfect sweet spot.
I like Phantom Dust. I like that game.
I do too.
Because you know what it is? It does one
story's
thing, it does
good.
it well. It does one thing and it does it really well.
Mhm.
It's not trying to do like 95 other things like the games today. You know, it doesn't have to have a multiplayer suite and a 70-hour open world. You know,
The multiplayer in Phantom Dust was a whole lot of fun, though, dude.
yeah, I did play.
Oh my God, we played so much of that when that came out. Like, there was a point where it was me and 3 others from work back when I worked at the video game shop, dude. And I shit you not, there was about 3 consecutive months where we held, all 4 of us, the top 4 spots in that game globally on Xbox Live. I shit you not.
That was back when Xbox Live was actually fun to be on.
Right. The pioneer days.
Where the people on there actually were people that had, because the internet was expensive. If you don't remember
yeah.
how expensive broadband was to have.
Oh, no kidding. So it was kind of financially gatekeeped.
Yeah.
So, but that reminds me, don't let me forget later, off record, there's an interesting new financial gatekeeping thing that's actually come down in Indiana that's been removed. I'm super excited.
Cool.
But in any case, as of today, actually. But in any case, yeah, no, that's Phantom Dust was so great. I miss that. Dude, there was one of the guys, we used to play 2-on-2 teams, and he and I actually had our decks built to complement each other, specifically for teams. And he was a little 12-year-old kid, obnoxious little punk, the very stereotypical fuck your mom kid on Xbox Live. You know, he was one of those pioneers, if you will. And so we built so it was stacked with shit that he had no active cards, like no active powers. He was literally there just to piss people off and to be bait and to be a trap, because everything in his deck would lock people's face buttons when they hit him.
Nice.
So he'd piss them off, lock their face buttons so they couldn't do shit, and I'd just come in behind and clean up the mess. So he was that 12-year-old kid screaming that world famous, that's so perfect Ryan Reynolds line, screaming around cock juggling thunder cunts into his headset. Oh, nostalgia.
The good old days.
Man, miss that. But yeah, no, God, bring back B-tier games, motherfuckers. I swear to God, every company bitching about the cost of like big budget AAA games. If you'd partition out a couple of people that are just like bored with whatever they're working on in your studios and let them have some fucking fun and, release that shit at like $30 retail, I'm on it. Like, bring me that, please. Just saying. There's a gap in the market that has been left unfilled for like 2 generations at this point. So, honestly, fuck, that's a Madonna. We had, radio or video killed the radio star. We've now got digital download killed the B-tier games.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad.
I'm honestly just thinking of that song and how much I like it.
Oh, I'm sad. Anyways, yeah, I'm kind of with everybody else here, honestly, this week though. I've been playing real life Job Simulator. Work's been a shit show. It's almost fixed, but we finished installing patches, new software, and character packs. So, but
I'm thinking about returning my copy of Life. Like, can I do that? Can I just I don't want to play anymore.
You got to figure out how to cancel your subscription.
Seriously.
I think it involves a one-time purchase of a Glock 9.
Or if you bought the extended warranty, then you're good.
Right.
If you
I
didn't,
feel like I downloaded some, I got some DLC that I didn't ask for, and I'm like, I don't want it anymore. I just
you just want to go back to the way it was.
Uninstallable updates. Shit. No, I was just piddling around with a couple things though. I dinked back around with Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet for about 20 minutes again. I realized I was stuck and then I put it back down again.
What system is that on?
You can get it on your Xbox.
It's actually on my
the Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
I've always
360,
wanted-
but it is a backwards compatible, and yes, you should play it. You'll love it.
I've always wanted to check it out. I've just never had the opportunity.
You
Great.
absolutely have the opportunity to get on it. You'll love it. The art's direction and style in that is so good. I really do love it. It's a really clever game. Floaty Metroidvania. So, instead of playing a character, you're playing a little UFO.
Yep.
With just, different tools. It's very genius. I mean, like I said, we were fortunate enough some years ago, for anybody newer to the show, we were fortunate enough some years ago to have on Michael Gagne, who did the story and the art direction for Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Really cool dude. Like, that dude's resume is unbelievably impressive. Mike, I don't know Michael, do you remember catching that interview when we did it?
Yeah, like I don't remember details, but I remember the interview.
Yeah, I would say if you don't remember this dude's resume, I'll give you some highlights. Like, this dude worked on like All Dogs Go to Heaven and Iron Giant, An American Tale.
I do love me some Iron Giant.
Iron
Yeah.
Giant's the shit, man. That movie,
It's like-
that movie had way more like depth
Yeah.
and emotion than it ever just. Oh god,
Mhm.
there's just so much to that. As a kid, just watching all of that. Oh my god.
I love that I found out like a couple years ago that the giant himself was played by Vin Diesel. I was like, that's
Really?
fucked up. Yeah, that's Vin Diesel.
And then he ends up being Groot. Like fuck, I just
Yeah.
see a pattern here.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
Well, he
Chewie.
He wanted to play Black Bolt in the Inhumans for the longest time. Like, he was begging for the role, but they
Who was
couldn't
that?
afford it. Vin Diesel?
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't have been good in there.
Nah, there's another role where he doesn't have to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
Like, I like Vin Diesel as an actor. He's cheesy as shit, but he's still a fun actor.
Did you watch that new one, Bloodshot?
I haven't watched it yet. I've got it downloaded. Queued
I
up
liked
and ready to
I
go.
liked it.
all right,
What else?
I've got a new idea. Vin Diesel's newest, most challenging role to date. He's gonna play Silent Bob when Kevin Smith retires.
Oh jeez. I just can't. I can't see that. No.
I mean,
no.
why not? It's like,
That's
11
No.
words of dialogue the entire film.
His
Well,
ego
no,
won't
'cause
allow it.
It's the same concept as like what was it? The Austin Powers movie where they were doing the fake movie within the movie, and fucking Tom Cruise ended up playing. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Speaking of Jason,
I don't know. I like Vin Diesel. Honestly, I feel like I loved him because I love the Riddick movies, all of them, minus the very last one. That one was but
That's
like
the one I still haven't seen.
Which one?
I think it's just called Riddick.
You're talking about
Yeah.
the Chronicles of Riddick? Are you talking about the one that's like
Not
the
Chronicles of
animated,
Riddick.
the animated
Not-
one?
No. There is, the Chronicles of Riddick. There's an animated one. There is one before, but the last one. There's one after
was-
Chronicles of Riddick. Like
Really?
What was the
happens
first
in
one? What was the horror
Black.
flick one?
Pitch Black.
Pitch
Pitch
Black.
Black,
There you
yeah.
go. Basically, he goes back to that planet where these creatures
Yeah.
are, and it's just called Riddick. Is the name of the film. It's not a bad film, but compared to all of the other ones, it's not
It's the low
necessarily.
light.
Yeah, it's like
Did you ever play
Yeah.
the game? Like, because the game
Oh.
was actually canon
Oh,
to
the
the
game
story.
was good. I
Yeah.
liked
I
it.
never
Bad.
played it, but
Yeah,
Oh, the
you gotta
game
get
was
on that.
legit fun.
You gotta get on that. The 360 version's the best one.
I didn't have an Xbox back then. So,
Well, you got it now.
Now you
Yeah.
do.
as I said, I bought the fucking Xbox for Ori. So,
Right.
So,
Twice.
side note, I don't know if it's true, but I was just informed that apparently there's another Riddick movie coming out where he actually goes back to his home planet.
I don't
Yeah,
buy
I
it.
saw,
He's
I
been
saw that.
fighting tooth and nail to get those movies out
yeah, I
because
know.
he's so in love with the character, which I understand.
I
but
fucking love that character.
I do too, but it's just the movies. Like as I said, he doesn't get to make the movies he wants to make.
Honestly,
And-
Chronicles of Riddick was my favorite one.
It is the best one.
That one was pretty fucking good.
So, speaking of Jay and Silent Bob, though, I did reserve. I ordered my copy of Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, the
Oh.
special edition from Limited Run.
Jesus.
I need to actually do that still.
So
What's involved in the special edition?
it's not a big box collectors. It's kind of like the halfway mark, like they did with Iconoclast, where it's got like a couple of neat things,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're small. But it's also not like full collector's edition price. I think it was like 50 and change.
Okay.
So they've started doing this thing now for some of them, and honestly, I've told them, I'm like, I fucking tweeted out, I'm like, y'all need to just fucking sell these individual so I can buy a shit ton of them for all my Switch games. But I don't know, Kathy, you're nodding. Have you seen this? You know where this is going? So they're doing these like NES style dust covers that like fit over the bottom of your Switch cases. And it just kind of makes me happy. I'm like, I would totally pay $1.99 each for like a shit ton of those for my entire collection. So
Yeah.
it just, it has the right nostalgia feels, and I want a whole bunch of them, and I would buy a whole fuck ton of them. But, instead of, NES or Nintendo emblazoned across the front of the dust cover, it's, limited run games in their logo script. So, well, that's cool. I like that. It's got, the entire chiptune soundtrack and all that, which, I my gut says this is going to scratch that Scott Pilgrim itch.
Mm-hmm. Did we already mention that there's a rumor that that's going to end up getting put back out?
I don't know that we've mentioned it, but I did see it. I did see that, and I'm
hoping, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. Fingers crossed. I ain't holding my breath.
Yeah. Like I said, I still can play it on my PlayStation 3.
Part of me kind of hopes it never happens because I want Limited Run to have to deal with that joke forever. Like, this is your punishment.
Where is Scott Pilgrim? Yeah.
Right. We're announcing our next game coming up in 3 days.
It's amazing
Everyone,
that they
500 comments on Twitter. It's Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah. It's amazing, though, that they haven't re-released it yet.
Well, there's
I
an
know.
issue with the rights to it.
It is an issue with the
Yeah.
rights, but it's just amazing to me that somebody just doesn't go up to the person that owns the rights with a wad of cash and say, here you go.
Right.
I wonder if the rights are split like with Star Trek.
Probably something like that, and that's what happens with all these back compat titles for Xbox as well. Like some of these companies that have folded, and they have no idea. They might have been bought like 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah,
And they
and
have
you got to
you know.
do some forensic accounting to figure out who even owns the rights.
Or they have music in there, which is like then you have to go get relicensed on that music and all this other stuff.
Now, that said, actually, that might be a big piece of it because the soundtrack for the Scott Pilgrim game was done entirely by one person. It was Anno Monoguchi. However, it was all like chiptune versions of stuff from the movie.
Yeah, so there's
might be
problems.
some. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some solid music licensing rights involved in that fiasco amongst everything else. And I'm wondering too if maybe there's a right split in the IP itself between the actual creator of the manga and the film studio. So that wouldn't shock me in the least. So, because I mean, like I said, my gut says there's probably like Star Trek level fuckery involved in the rights issues with that. So, we'll see. Again, it'd be nice. Ain't holding my breath.
No.
But yeah, so ordered that. I'm sitting here piddling with Geometry Wars 2 as well, which is it's almost my favorite Geometry Wars. Like if they had just folded in the infinite play mode or just the classic mode of Geo Wars 1 along with all the other modes in Geo Wars 2, it would have been the perfect Geo Wars game. But Geo Wars 2 does have like one of my favorite modes though. I love playing pacifist mode in Geo Wars 2 It's just, run and flee and tear and see how long you can go without touching anything.
Yeah.
So, which I used to have a roommate that, holy fuck, that dude, and I don't know if he still does to this day, but that dude was one of the best in the world when it came to GeoWars. Like, his scores ranked top 10 globally. It was insane.
I know, you always think you do good, and then you look at the scoreboard, you're like, oh, no, okay, all right.
Right, no shit. Like, I'm looking at his high score for just the time attack mode in GeoWars 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
My top score for 4.1 mil, which, it's middling. It's nothing special, but it's not shit awful or anything. No. And then there's Willie, 32.7 million in 3 minutes. Like, god damn it. Shit. His I actually got reasonably close to him on waves, not pacifism, but like waves, he only topped out at like 5.3 mil. I got to 3.1. But yeah, his pacifism score is disgusting. Like, the best I've ever managed to pull off in pacifism is like 24.6 mil. His pacifism high score, 181.991 mil.
Wow. Have you ever played that for Xbox One, that 60-second shooter Prime? So it's a lot like Geometry Wars, but the game is only 60 seconds long, and you have to get power-ups to keep going.
Right,
or
like you
slow
gotta
down
get
time.
extra seconds, yeah.
Or slow down time. It's actually really, really clever, and it's really well done. It's usually pretty dang cheap. I bought it. I mean, I had it for a long time. But I haven't played it in a long while. It's like $5 now.
Huh. It's
really fun.
We
You'd
have to
like
keep
that.
then. That sounds right up my alley, definitely. I do think tomorrow, though, I think I settled on the new game I want to start finally, because I got a day off tomorrow. I think I'm finally going to crack open Slay the Spire.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I think that's going to be tomorrow's indulgence. That, or I don't know, maybe I've got the day off. I've got the actual get up and go. I might cap off streaming Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I really need to put a pin on that. So
Do it.
That might be it. So
I should probably finish that game too, but
agreed. So, which reminds me, Zoe, I fixed the capture card.
What was wrong with it?
Apparently, it just needed some settings retweaked.
Cool.
So, but yeah, that's honestly, I think that's what I've been playing. So that means here's a really good time to stop and say break. And we're back with the third half of the show. This week we're deep diving into troubled waters. So this week we're gonna take a look at diversity, inclusivity, and representation in video games. Obviously, there's been some conversations going around recently with The Last of Us having some impact there, but there's more to look at. This goes back further, and so we thought we'd take a peek at that and share some thoughts. So I'm gonna toss it over to. I'm gonna go the not obvious route. I'm gonna toss it over to Michael first.
Not obvious route.
Well,
what could you mean by that, Larry?
I know. You all thought it was going to go to Josh.
Totally. 100%.
No, Josh has already said everything that he's going to say today. So we're not going to let him talk anymore. Honestly, I got nothing. Like, I said, I don't play anything specifically because, like, the protagonist is a white guy or this or that. I don't care. Like, if the story is good, I don't give a shit what the main character is. Since I'm a pixelated ghost, like, I prefer games that they're pixelated. So, it works out. But beyond that, yeah, I don't give a shit. I think it's interesting that they're kind of going the more, like, they're starting to try to add the inclusivity. Is that a word? whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're trying to make games more inclusive for, the handicapped people or whatnot. But as I said, it doesn't really affect me. But it's interesting to see.
Mhm.
Pun. Um,
So-
yeah.
All right. Well, I know you're chomping at the bit here, so I'm now going to toss this to Zoe. I want to hear thoughts because we talked some of this. This part of this actually not directly but very indirectly came up in a conversation that you and I had. What, 2 days ago?
It did.
Yeah, because we were talking voice actors
Oh yeah.
and we were talking about the guy that plays Kratos.
Yeah, we were
Oh, Mike
that
Judge?
discussion, to give some background for the people that don't know.
Christopher Judge.
That discussion was talking about does it matter if the voice actor matches the race of the character? So like if the character is a black person or, Indian person, does the voice actor have to match? I said if you're playing a character and the race of that character is important, then yes.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
we were talking about like watching the Boondocks. If those characters were played by white people, I would say fuck you, that's not cool.
Correct.
But like we were also talking about Cleveland, and in my opinion, while Cleveland in Family Guy is a black guy, he's a guy that happens to be black, and I feel like he's playing a character, and that character just so happens to be black. He's not playing necessarily like him being black. I feel like isn't super important to who his character is.
At the same time, like I don't mean to interrupt, but Cleveland is a little different because a lot of the jokes involving Cleveland involve the fact that he is black, and
Right.
the fact that he's played by a white dude who, like, I thought that was a little strange even before it became a thing. But
I'm gonna be honest. It's just what I've seen of Family Guy. I haven't watched a whole lot of it. I don't know that much about Cleveland. I've never watched the Cleveland show, so like
No.
this is my opinion based on a very limited, diving into Family Guy. Like I've seen episodes and I like Family Guy. I feel like in a way Cleveland is that black guy that tries to fit in with his white counterparts a lot. Like I think that's who Cleveland is. But going into this particular conversation with inclusivity, I find it kind of funny. Like I was trying really hard not to say something when you were like, it doesn't matter, who the character is. And I get that to a point. Like I honestly, I get the fact that for a lot of people it doesn't matter. But for people like me, being both like a woman, being black, and being someone who is queer, seeing yourself in the things you interact with, TV, video games, books, like it's nice to see that. What the hell? How are you almost dead? Hold on 1 second. My computer
keep
decided
talking.
to try and die on me. But like I'm gonna at the risk of sounding,
You froze.
no, I disappeared. Am I good now?
Yeah, you're backish.
Okay.
You're not
My
blackish,
screen.
but you are backish. We lost you again. I can only hear you from the other room. Oh shit, we lost her. All right.
She left. Uh-oh. Come back.
All right, let's see if we can fix this. We got to get the rest of this. I know, we're working on it. We're going to table that until we figure out how to get Zoe back in. But Kathy, throw some thoughts my way.
I think, one of the discussions I've been seeing, especially recently, is games, these open world games that have different races to play as. For example, going back to Skyrim and how, you have the 10 different races and whether or not they should be races or classes, and looking at how sometimes you see those stereotypes playing out that you see in the real world, even though it is a fantasy world. people playing as certain characters. And for example, the Dark Elves are always, are especially in Skyrim, when you go into not Whiterun, into Windhelm, you see how they are treated, and the disparages and with their darker skin and everything. So it's really I think games need to take a look at how they are portraying certain classes and certain characters in their games to be able to not necessarily mimic what is, again, it's definitely something that needs to be thought about, and something that needs to be definitely looked into, especially as we move forward and into these future roles that people are playing in these games. But I mean, I know the Dark Elves are considered one of the best classes, the best class race to play in Skyrim. I know a lot of people play as Dark Elves because of their attributes and their abilities, but then to see how they are mistreated, what does that say? What is was Skyrim inadvertently trying to send a message of equality, or was it just that's how the game is? So I know there was a lot of discussion going on, and I've seen a lot of forums about issues surrounding being able to pick between, how players are identified in these open world games.
Okay. Sorry if my audio sounds a little wonky. We're kind of fixing problems on the fly here.
Fine.
But yeah. Zoe, get in here. Come finish the thought. No, I mean in here. There we go. We just opened up the room audio instead.
Okay, cool. What the hell was I talking about? My brain completely went into a different. We're talking about Cleveland. We were talking about exclusivity in video games. So to me, it's really important. Like, I don't know if you know what it's like to see media and not see yourself in it, considering you are a prevalent, you are a person, you exist, but to not see yourself in anywhere in mainstream media, even though there is a large group of people like you, kind of sucks, honestly. Like, it just makes me feel like, well, are we not good enough to be in these positions? Why are we not included as main characters in video games? Like, shit, I can't think of a game that I've played, at least, where the main character was a person of color. I'm like, now women have some, like, I'll give a little bit to that, but even on that side of it, I feel like it's nowhere near as equal as it should be, considering there are more women in America than there are men, yet somehow men make up most of the protagonists in video games. How does that work? Like, Last of Us is an exception. Like, Lara Croft is an exception, but I feel like a lot of people just played that initially because she looked fucking hot. Like, and if men are what? Oh, fuck! I forgot for like half a second.
It's only plastered all over the room.
I said that I played.
But in defense, that was not revealed until the end. You did not know you were playing as a female till the end. You had to beat the game to know initially that you were playing as a female protagonist. Even the instruction manual said it was a he.
But still, my thing is like, but still, it's just like a lot of female characters that they are in a game are usually overly sexualized. Like, I love playing Bayonetta, but almost everyone that plays Bayonetta plays to watch her like slowly lose her clothing. Like,
yeah, but that was kind of written very specifically for the joke.
No, I know, but I'm saying is it'd be nice to play, a strong female character that wasn't like that. Like
Strange.
Like, yeah, like. Exactly. So I like that female characters are becoming more prevalent, but I would love to see a strong person of color. I'm not even saying black at this point, which honestly having a black character would be cool because, I'm black, so yeah, I'm biased. But like, honestly, just somebody that's not white would be great. I play so many games where either I'm some fictional like creature or I'm white. Like when I was even playing freaking what the hell was I playing? I was playing Diablo, and the only, thing, or when you were picking like your class or whatever, the only one of color was the witch doctor. I'm like, really, Diablo? You can't have, a black demon hunter, because that would be great. No, the witch doctor has to be this voodoo looking fucking African lady. Has to be like, I'm just like, really that's what we're given. I mean, I understand the point. Like, to me, I mean, it shouldn't matter honestly what character you're playing, but when it gets to the point that this is the only thing we're seeing, is the only side of crap that we're seeing, what the fuck? But that's honestly my take on everything. I wish we had more people of color. I wish we had more, just women. It'd be really cool if they had queer people, but I feel like that's honestly really hard to work into a game without like a massive
Mass Effect.
With massive backstory.
No, Mass Effect.
I know. I said I know.
Well, I mean, like Skyrim, you can marry the same sex when you can have relationships.
Which is awesome, and I like it. I'm just like,
but there's a lot of problems too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Right. But because I agree, because I see like when a lot of LGBTQ stuff gets involved, it often becomes. Sometimes it becomes the center of what this person is, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm a queer person, and don't get me wrong, it's a very strong part of who I am. But I don't know if it would be as strong if society just didn't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's only as strong because I take pride in it because society says it's wrong. I'm like, well, if society didn't give a fuck, would I?
Right.
I'd like to volunteer a thought here. I have just in the last 5 minutes developed a new headcanon, but it does not conflict with anything canonical to the series. The ultimate POC character sporting pride, the prince from Katamari Damacy. He's all colors and he's rainbow colored.
I would have to know what the hell you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's on the shelf. Pull it down. But yeah, no, I see no reason he can't be somewhere on the in the LGBT family. And
yeah, I see.
And he's he's definitely colors. So that's like the ultimate representation right there. Way to go, Katamari. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like one out of how many?
I know, and it's not official, but it's my headcanon. I just made the game better because of it now.
Right, no, 100%. But I'm like, there are so many things like you could.
It's not color, but that's who he's talking about.
Ah, gotcha.
He's just all colors. He's rainbow color.
I agree with you, Zoe.
I don't know if you can see.
I saw the eye roll. I agree with you.
Like, oh god. But I don't know. Like, I just find it funny, and it's more often than not. And Michael, I hate to pick on you, but more often than not, it is white people that are like, it shouldn't matter. And I'm like, honestly, it shouldn't. And if it doesn't matter, why don't we see more of them? Obviously, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. If it didn't matter, there wouldn't be a clear preference to one side.
You're also talking to somebody, too, though, whose favorite characters include a skeleton and a fucking demon, of which, at that point, race is kind of right out the window.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Characters I play, they're either white protagonists or some fictional creature. Like, my favorite game is fucking Spyro, okay? Mm-hmm. So I fully understand having favorite characters that aren't human even. But I'm like, even all the other games that I play, anytime I play a human, it's almost always a white character. Like, I love playing Gears of War. And you play as fucking, oh my god, his name is... Marcus Thank Phoenix, you. Yeah. I knew it started with an M. I wanted to say Mercer, but I was like, wait, that's not it. Honestly, I think I was watching Orville, got that stuck in my damn head.
Yeah.
Marcus, he's a white guy. Now, granted, there is a person of color in that game.
You are a player too.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yes, I know. Dom is in there, and I love it, but
Hispanic.
Yeah, who is a Hispanic man? But I'm like, why can't he be Marcus, essentially? Like, why isn't he the main character?
Right.
It's not to say that there aren't people of color in games. It's usually not the main.
It's not the lead.
It's not the lead. Why is he a supporting character?
You're not playing as that. Yeah, you're not playing as that character. They're just there.
Yeah, they're
interacting
players
with
too.
you.
No, okay. Dom is important to the game. Like, he's an important character.
Oh yeah.
But
Mhm.
you can only play him if you're player 2. There's no
Right.
option when you start the game to be Marcus or Dom. So, in essence, he is a supporting character at best.
Mhm.
You ever wonder if the Covenant played the first Halo game and went, why can you only play as humans?
I was about to say, isn't there like a version of
That's
Halo?
why I said, you ever wonder if they played the first one, complained, and then...
Honestly, there are several times where I'm like, I would love to just like when initially Halo came out, like, dude, imagine going back and being the Covenant, and then they did it, and I was like, yes, this is so fun.
Interspecies diversity, baby.
Right?
Remember, though, if you're into that thing, stick to the list.
Mm-hmm. Part of me thinks Cortana is I wish Cortana was a black chick. I was like, she's hella thick. She got that black girl booty at least. Like, there was no reason.
Her AI personality might have been modeled after one.
It might have been, but I was like, her AI had no business looking that fucking sexy. I'm like, you're a fucking computer. Like, there were times I would just
with Andromeda.
I'm just saying, there were times where I would stop playing and kind of just zoom in on Cortana for a second. I'm like, yeah, look at you, you blue lady, all sexy and shit. But I was like, she's an AI. She's no business being that sexy. No business. No business.
Now there was definitely some love in that community because for a hot minute, I don't think anybody will ever quite surpass the whole Princess Leia thing. But I mean, for a minute, Cortana kind of started railing up there.
Apparently, Cortana was played by a blonde white lady.
Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
Jen Taylor.
Yep, blonde white lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's a lot. She's a Princess Peach.
Why are there no black princesses in Mario? Why are there no black characters in Mario? I get they're Italian plumbers.
They're Italian plumbers, that's why.
Yeah, but they could be
They
dark
couldn't even
skinned.
have a
And it was
dark
made in
skinned
like what,
Italian
1982? Or
Yeah,
83.
And it was made in Japan, and that's the
Yeah.
other thing.
And that's
I'm thinking that Daisy was a little bit darker complected.
No, she's just dark,
No.
has dark hair. That's it.
That's
yeah,
okay.
the darker hair. Yeah.
My
Now,
thing is,
now, I will say though, by comparison, Peach and Daisy are definitely considerably darker complected than Rosalina was.
yeah.
Rosalina was like ghost white.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole point of Rosalina, though. Like, she's got white
It's
hair.
kind of
everywhere.
ethereal
Well, she's-
celestial, yeah.
She doesn't get her vitamin D from, since she lives in space. Not meant to
Right.
sunlight.
That's
Mario
legit.
gave up on Peach and was hoping to give Rosalina the vitamin D.
Mhm.
No, that was Luigi. Luigi.
Luigi needs to get some. I feel so bad. He's just always player 2, man.
Honestly, I feel like Luigi probably gets more action than Mario does because Mario's old after Peach.
Well, actually, you've heard the
Just
theory.
going like,
He's just
You've heard you've heard the theory about who Rosalina is.
No, what's up?
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen the game theory
No,
about
I
who?
missed this one.
Oh my gosh, that Rosalina is actually the child of Princess Peach and Luigi. And there's a whole theory that Princess Peach and Luigi actually are together, not Mario.
it
like
makes
that-
sense. Peach is a
Because
bitch.
they did MatPat from Game Theory did a whole episode based off of eye color, ears,
Right. That's right.
left-handedness, everything. Oh my god, it was like a whole. I'll tell you those game theories, but yeah, Rosalina is apparently a product of Luigi and Peach, but it's
Okay.
just a theory,
Right.
a game theory. Thanks for watching.
Jesus
hotel.
Christ.
Right. I was gonna say, and the hotel. Fuck.
Jesus
So-
Christ. You didn't give in your opinion yet.
I haven't, and it'd be nice to see more of it. However, the problem is that I honestly don't think most of it would be written well. Like, if you're gonna really hit on that kind of thing, you got to take the Jack Harkness approach.
Wait, are you saying that you don't think a character that is not
male and white would be written well into a game?
No, I think that the problem comes is that when most stories want to bring on any character, outside of straight white male, the fact that they are becomes a major story crutch as opposed to just simply being a character trait.
No, like honestly,
And
that's what
it
I want.
drives-
I hate character. I agree with you 100%. I hate characters
Because
that
it's
are.
why Jack worked so well in Doctor Who is, it was, he was as pansexual as you get, but it wasn't to beat you over the head with this is his only personality trait. It was just kind of there, and it was something that they had a little occasional fun with, cracked a joke and moved on. And it's like that's you have to normalize rather than take it and make it their only trait.
That's
Right.
why
Does that make sense now?
No. I didn't say it didn't make sense. I agree with you wholeheartedly that it's one of the reasons I like Captain Holt and Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Mhm.
because
Sorry.
until he
Oh, God,
mentioned
yeah.
like because he mentioned nonchalantly that he's gay and they're like, you're gay, and they're like, yeah, and like now granted it comes up because you meet his husband
Right.
and it's a whole thing, and like but only a few times does he really play the gay card, and one time he did it and it was funny as fuck because he did it to Terry, but I'm like, and them being black does come up because
Yeah.
but my thing is like his comes up because he's been on the police force so long, so when he started it was a prevalent thing, and why him being in the position he is prevalent, or when Terry had cops treat him differently that didn't know he was a cop because he's like they put it in where it's necessary, but they
Right.
don't make it that character's only trait. Like fuck, I'm black
Yeah.
and I'm gay, and but like that's not all that there is to me. I'm also a teacher. I'm also like a really awesome, caring person. Like it just so happens that I'm these things too. I honestly hate characters that throw that in your face. I honestly can't
Right.
stand that.
And that's what I'm saying is let's look at the state of video game writing as it is today. It's not the greatest.
Mm-mm.
So you're
Like
saying,
there's some really good highlights, but I do not trust them to do that well.
okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Honestly, fuck, TV doesn't even do it well.
No, but at least it's about a half step ahead of where games is. And
It
narrative
is.
and
It's
writing.
gotten a lot better now, but like
Mhm.
even looking at TV 5 to 10 years ago, they weren't doing it very well. Honestly, I applaud Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They've got gay people. They've got multiple different people of color in that show, and it's
Rose
not.
is the fucking bomb.
I fucking love Rosa. Fucking Diaz. Oh, me and her could. I don't even want to date her. Me and her would just go around having an awesome fucking time.
Mhm.
But I love how they showed like her coming out. I'm sorry, anyone listening that has not watched the show. Sorry, Rosa
You need
likes
to
Lady
watch it.
You need to
You need
watch
to
it.
watch
Oh, God,
it.
yeah.
It's a good show.
It's so good. It tackles so many issues, and I love
Mhm.
like Boyle is such a man, but he exudes like they have such good examples of like masculinity in different forms. Women that people would call assholes or bitches because they're more aggressive, but I'm like that's just them being women, and I just love how they tackle literally everything, but it's so nonchalant, so nonchalant.
I've got it. Here's how we do good all the way around.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine should pay me for the plug.
The Telltale crew needs to get back together. New studio. We're going to harangue the Brooklyn Nine-Nine folk, all the actors, all the writers. We're going to fucking rope them all together and lock them in a room until we come out with a new Telltale crew game that's all Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I want to play that.
I would play that. That would be freaking fun.
Like, that's how you rock it right there. You're just going to hit all the notes. Boom, 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 boom. That's writing I trust. So, there's the solution. We need Telltale to come back and do a Brooklyn Nine-Nine game to pave the way. We have officially solved the problem. Well, now that we've solved the problem, I think, honestly, we've probably had a good stopping point for the week.
Mhm.
So, because I'm feeling about spent. So that's it. Thank you to all my friends for coming and hanging out. Thank you to everybody that accidentally downloaded this and is still, an hour or so deep in and suffering through our insipid insanity. Other than that, we'll catch y'all next week. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Say goodnight, disembodied voice.
Bye.
Peace.